Good day thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig TheWriter Stewart, and this is So Much to Say YouTube TV. These are my thoughts, in my voice, on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. Now, So Much to Say YouTube TV is the place that you come to learn and grow. So go ahead and hit the like button, the share button, and the subscribe button. And turn on that little bell so that you get a notification every single time that I go live or I upload something new. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I was supposed to take this cruise ship down from up here. Hey, niece. Hey, girl, hey. Hey, oh, come on, Christmas season. Yes, come on, Valerie. 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 Come on, Valerie. Y'all know what this is from. That's from Paris. But anyway, listen. I know I'm late. I am so sorry. I'm late because, well, I don't have to tell you why I'm late. I'm late. Shit, I'm here now. Amen. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig TheWriter Stewart, and this is the Facebook and YouTube live versions of So Much to Say. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. Hey, Ernestine, Kava, Keisha Ford. Her mama tried to be different and spell her name K-E-C-I-A. Girl, you should have just been K-E-I-S-H-A like the rest of the Keishas, okay? Mantra. Hey, Mantra. Hey, girl, hey. Hey, niece. Hey, niece. What's up, y'all? Hey, girl, hey. Hey, boy, hey. What's up, Mr. D? Keisha, oh, there's the Keisha Lockridge. Her mama got it right. K-E-I-S-H-A. Hey, LaToya. Denver Sunday. Kim Hall. Dr. Darnell Holt. He had to change his screen name to Doctor. I see you, niece. I see you, niece. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, girl. She said, for my nigga Monday. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, she said her name is pronounced Kisa. Oh, so her mama just couldn't spell because she put an I after the C. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Don't get your mama on me, okay? Do not get your mama on me. Hey, TB. Hey, Stacy Michelle. Hey, It's Glamour Daily. Hey, my Shari Amore. Hey, Malika. Hey, girl, hey. Hey, niece. Hey, girl, hey. Hey, Mabrina. No, Mabrina. I fucked up. Mabrina. Hey, Mabrina, because she pulled me together at the brunch, at the little gospel brunch that we had here in Atlanta. You know, the gospel brunch. Hey, Miss Kyra. Hey, niece. She said she is tickled. Hey, Danielle Wilson. Cheryl W. Heather Harris. Sheila Saint. Mimi Parker. Portia Blair. Donna Brown. She was in my car. She was in my car at the gospel brunch. I almost called the police on her. They sent me pictures and showed me that they were in the car. Hey, Mecca. Miss Kyra. Demetria Robinson. I know I said Miss Kyra before, but I just wanted to say it again. Hey, Joey Jackson. Whose name did I miss up here? Jody Brown, Gretchen, Laker Girl Wheaton, Bud Nita. Hey, Bud Nita. Sadiqa. Hey, Twin Russell. Hey, Twin Russell. Hey, niece. Uniquely unique. I just shipped your order out today. Did you get your order confirmation? Did you get your order confirmation? Uniquely unique. Hey, girl, hey. Now, uniquely unique. Let me tell you something before you be pulling me together. I know you ordered the 3 books, but I kind of fucked up your name on one of them. So I kind of put a little circle and a little smiley face, and I put sorry. Because, you know, I kind of had to scratch out in Book of Jewels. So please don't be pulling me together. Do not send me no follow-up email saying you don't understand why your name was kind of crossed out and what. Who was that just sent the cash app? Let me say thank you. Thank you, Nicola. My girl, Nicola Morrison, don't be playing with the cash app. Do you hear me? Oh, looking powerful with her nosy self. Hey, Joey Jackson, I love you too. Wait a minute. Oh, hey, Verilyn. He said, you missed my name. Look at Nosy Powerful. Can you finish the contractor story? Girl, that story was 2 days ago. I knew it was gonna be somebody here asking me to finish that story. Look, here uniquely. Don't make me come to Dayton. You see, I remember that address, huh? Don't make me come to Dayton and grab you by your neck, niece. Don't make me come to Dayton because you're giving me too much in these comments, okay? She said, now if my name was Sarah, you would have got it right. Okay, so listen, wait, somebody said, I want to go on this cruise, but something. We don't deal in conjunctions. She said, but y'all going for 5 days. She said, I want to go on the cruise, but y'all going for 5 days. What, she want us to pull out and come back in? What, she want us to pull out to the bit and come back in? She want us to pull the boat out and put it in reverse. What, you want, like an 8-hour? You just want to go on a little day lunch. You just want to go on a day. You don't want to go on a cruise. You want to go on a cruise. You don't want to go on a cruise. You want to go on a cruise. Girl, you just want to go. Girl, you don't really start cruising until you're on the 3rd day, amen? She talking about y'all going for 5 days. What, she wants to go out there for 8 hours? Girl, that's a little luncheon that you need to go on over there to DC or down to Baltimore and just, go down to the lighthouse and come on back. Who is this that sent the cash app? Come on, somebody. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you, Sylvia. She said $6 for $1 for today, $2 for tomorrow, and $2 just because. Come on, somebody. She wants to go on a dinner cruise, my Brina. She just want to go on a dinner cruise. Now, I'm telling y'all now, if you have not booked your cruise, please go ahead and book your cruise. The link is down here. We're going to be cruising on Virgin Voyage. Please make sure you also sign up for the experience, the Craig experience. Both of those links are in that one link, okay? Because if you book the cruise and you don't book the experience, niece, you're not going to be able to hang out with us. You're not going to be able to hang out with the cool kids, okay? So don't be trying to come over there with us and, don't be trying to borrow nobody's wristband when we doing our little all-you-can-eat dinner. Private dinner, and we were doing our little happy hour, our open bar happy hour. And when we doing karaoke and stuff, because we will be doing karaoke. And I'm telling you now, don't nobody choose I Want to Know by Joe, because that is my song. And don't nobody sing anything, don't nobody choose Wait for Love by Luther, because that is also my song. Okay? So you can choose any other song, but don't choose, oh, she said I can't go because of dialysis. Now, girl, that's a different conversation. And she should have said that in the first time. She said it was because it was for 5 days. And girl, she had said that, I would have went on that tangent that I just went on. Girl, I understand. I understand. All right, but listen, before we get into these, look at Mantra. Mantra is so messy. Christy Holmes said, I did Virgin Voyage back in April, and it was amazing. Trust me. Hey, Leslie Moses. I forgot to say hello to my girl, Leslie Moses. Look at Lonnie talking about how you putting dibs on a song a year out. Because I am. Okay, listen, before we get into it, I want to tell you guys about those of you that are local, those of you that are in Georgia. I don't care if you're in Atlanta, if you're in Kennesaw. I want you guys to know about, if you haven't bought your Christmas tree already, this is for the people who are interested in real Christmas trees, because they do not do fake Christmas trees. But I do not get paid for this, but I want to share this with you guys because, did y'all hit the like button and the share button and the subscribe button? But I want to share this with you guys because it's called Trees for Tuition. You like the ring of that? It's called Trees for Tuition. So those of you who can't really spell that well, tuition is spelled T-U-I. For those of you who can't spell really well, tuition is spelled T-U-I-T-I-O-N. Trees for, F-O-R, tuition.com. Okay? Now, they have different types of trees. So some trees, they have that evergreen smell, and you'll come in your house and you smell it. Right, they be spelling it like this, tuition. No, that's not it, niece. It's T-U-I-T-I-O-N. But I want you guys, so they have other trees that don't smell, like if you don't really like the smell of pine. So all of that to say, when you purchase a Christmas tree from them, or a wreath, not a wreath, but a wreath, WREATH, because y'all be fucking that up too. Huh? Y'all tears that up like y'all tear Doberman Pinscher up. Huh? Because I don't know what some of y'all be saying when y'all be trying to say Doberman Pinscher. And don't even get me started on Rottweiler. Y'all be talking about rock, like you throw on a rock. No, it's rot. R-O-T-T. Rottweiler. We doing all of this. I ain't got to the restaurant reviews yet, but we coming. But anyway, I want to talk to you guys about this place. It's called treesfortuition.com. And if you live in Atlanta, they have several locations. If you haven't bought your tree already and you're interested in a real tree, check them out. Please do that for me. Only because, and I believe in stuff like this, like businesses that attach themselves to a cause. So when you purchase a tree from them, they help pay tuition for kids going to school, right? But they also employ students. So like they employ high school students and college kids to work during the holiday season so they can make extra money for their tuition or school or whatever. So it's called treesfortuition.com, okay? And if you go and purchase a tree, just let them know that I sent you. Again, I don't get paid for it, but I told them that I would share them with you all. But let me show you my wreath. The tree and the tree is going to be delivered tomorrow, niece, and they set it up. You don't have to, but they will. They'll set the tree up, not decorate it, because some of y'all lazy as hell. They're not going to decorate it. That's for you and your badass kids to do, okay? They're not going to decorate it, but they will set it up. They'll put it in the stand. So for all of the single ladies and gay men that need help putting their tree up, all of the single ladies and gay men, they will come put your tree up. Okay, and they will come and take it down as well and put it out. So here's the wreath. Now this wreath is gonna go on my front door. This wreath is gonna go on my front door. Isn't that a pretty wreath? Girl, she's real. She's real. So stop getting that plastic shit, okay? Girl, look at that. Girl, this is real. So anyway, I'm gonna hang that on my front door. And I'm also gonna, I'm planning on they gave me that one. They said, we're gonna give it to you since I told them I would tell you all about them. They said they're gonna give me one. So they gave me the wreath. Now the wreaths were only like $25, $30, which ain't bad, right? So I wanna get one to put on the eave of the house. Y'all know what the eave is? So this is the front of the house right here. The eave is that part right there where my finger is pointing across that black strip. So I want to put one right there, and I want to put one on the front door. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say about Trees for Tuition. Trees for Tuition, and you can go on their website, treesfortuition.com, and you can see all of their little services. They tell you that they'll come and set the tree up for you for $35, which I think is cheap too. They'll deliver it and set it up for $35. I don't have no ex-husband. I don't know who she talking about. But anyway, all right, let's get into these restaurant reviews. We're gonna be discussing the Real Milk and Honey tonight.
Your Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Let me get my microphone together. Okay. Now you may have heard about the Real Milk and Honey because Keith Lee went over there and devastated them right before or after he devastated Candy and the old lady gang. So I figured we would go ahead and we would get into the Real Milk and Honey tonight. All right. So you all know that we only read the 1 stars. We only read the 1 stars because we want to focus on what needs to be improved over here at these businesses, okay? And maybe somebody will come across this video. Maybe one of the proprietors or one of the restaurateurs will see this video and say, oh, well, maybe we can improve on this. Amen. Amen. All right. So, girl, I don't know what her name is. Maybe this is Rakaya. R-U-Q. Watch this. R-U-Q-A-Y-Y-A. Is that Rakaya? And her last name is Thomas. Oh, Powerful want to know the rest of the story. Do I need to tell y'all the rest of the story about the contract, or should I go right into these restaurant reviews? Because she is not going to let me. She is not gonna let me forget that story about the contractors. Y'all want to hear the story about the contractors first? Let me turn this off. All right, so the story about the contractors, I don't even remember where I left off the other day. I don't even remember where I left off. Okay, so I think what happened was, let me turn this hat around. I think what happened was, where I was in the story was, where was I in the story? Do y'all remember? Anyway, while I was gone, well, before I left, the work started in September 6th. And don't forget, those of you that are on, oh, okay, look, Powerful, she remembers, honey. Powerful said they came and got their tools and they went back out. Okay, girl, I got it. Let me take it from here. I got it. Okay, Genesis said you left off on the invoices. Baby, y'all don't be playing. That's why y'all can't get no goddamn work done at your job. Your boss asked you about that proposal from the other week. You can't remember that, but you remember exactly where I left off in the story. See where your priorities are? But okay, so what happened was the work started in September, and I dropped the very first Patreon this past Friday, documenting the change, the work. So the next episode is going to drop this coming Friday. So every Friday until they all run out, you'll get a new Patreon for that. So anyway, I started paying them while I was here, and they started doing the work while I was here. They were doing a great job, and they're from Honduras. And so they were doing an excellent job. They would get here every day at like 8:30 in the morning. Sometimes they get here at 9, but they came in and they were working from the time they got here until like almost 6 o'clock, right? They would take a little lunch break and they just kept going. They were working. So the progress was happening so quickly, and I was like, well, god damn. And then I have like friends that came over, like my friend Torrance. He has like a degree in like interior design and stuff like that. So he came in and looked at the structure. Remember when we went home to take my mom home? We took Damon with us, the contractor that we work with here. Elliot mostly works with him, but he's done some stuff for me too. We flew him home to Maryland with me and my mom when we did everything at the house up there. Well, he came by one day, he said, damn, they doing some really great work. And all of the work was good. So all of the structural stuff is really, really great. Well, I get over there. So he wanted to finish the work. He was like, well, let me continue while you're gone. And I was like, no, I don't really want to do that because, I need to be here while you're working. And what I didn't want to happen was for him to be calling me on FaceTime while I was gone. And, of course, with the time difference, Paris is 6 hours ahead. So like if he's here at 9 in the morning and it's 5 in the evening there, most likely I'm going to be out and about in Paris. And I don't want you calling me, talking to me about flooring or whatever the fuck else. And I'm trying to see what you talking about. Like if it was going to take me away from my experience there, right? And that would have defeated the purpose. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And then also depth of perception. Like if you're trying to show me something on the wall and like if you need to cut something in the distance, I can't gauge that from looking at no FaceTime. So I was like, no, I'd rather wait. Well, Elliot was like, well, no, I can come over here and the warden. So I was like, okay, well, if Elliot wants to come, if he's going to do, I didn't want to visit that responsibility on Elliot. So I was first like, no. But then when Elliot was like, well, no, I can come by. See, Elliot, he's just excited to see the shit too. So Elliot was like, well, I can come by. And so the contractor was like, and besides, the only thing we have left is right. So he was like, all we have left is the flooring, the bathroom tile, and then the cabinets to install the cabinets. And he's like, I don't really need you for that. He said, all of that is like second nature. I was like, okay, fine, go ahead. So he was coming over here working with his little team. And now, mind you, it's 4 cameras around here. Now, once we started working downstairs and I got Vivint to come to put a new camera down there, and alarm system and window alarms and all that kind of stuff, I started looking at all of the cameras. And so I see that he's coming to work, but they not coming at 9 o'clock in the morning anymore. These Honduran Negroes are coming at noon, 12:30, 1 o'clock. They leaving at 3. I'm like, well, what the fuck are they doing? One day I saw them come. They just came in and grabbed a bunch of tools and left. So you using my basement as a storage place for your tools while you working somewhere else? So what you trying to do is double dip. So you like, instead of having my shit completed by the time I came back, you figured you were gonna stall me out and go ahead and work another job and get your money over there and then come back over here and double dip. Oh, So mind you, and that would have been fine because remember, I said to them, if you want to go work somewhere else, you can just come see me in December. Just come back in December. They just like us, Honduran Negroes. Okay, they just like us. And so Black Negroes. And so he was like, no, I only need 3 more weeks, 4 weeks tops. So I was like, oh, well, shit, I'll be back, you know? So these set workers kept telling me, oh, well, we started the mudding. And I was telling you that, guys, this the other day. So we started mudding the walls. For those of you who don't know, once they started putting up the drywall, you know, you have to put like plaster or, you know, whatever and mud it, like to blend the shit together. And so he was like, well, we had to wait for it to dry. It don't take 2 days for it to dry, okay? And I see that you ain't been there since last week. You know, Vivid records everything. And so I was like, no, you ain't been there. So what are you talking about? And when y'all were there the other day, you were only there for 2 hours. Now, mind you, I should have gone with my first instinct, and that's the biggest lesson here. And so he had said to me, well, is it possible that you could put us on a schedule where you pay X amount of dollars every Friday so I could pay my workers and da-da-da-da. And so, and mind you, here's the other thing. When they would go to Home Depot to get materials and stuff, they would call me. I'm in Paris. Home Depot would call my cell phone so that I could pay over the phone. So I'm still paying for materials and shit. Baby, when I tell you, I came back over here and realized that the shit pretty much looked the way it looked when I left. But see, like I tell you guys all of the time, there's no reason to get real ignorant and ghetto and get the cussing and carrying on, because see, that's what people expect. I wasn't gonna do all of that. What I then decided to, because see, when I was here and he was working, what I would do is I was paying them through Zelle. I would pay them through Apple Pay. I wrote a check a couple times, but I didn't always write checks because, you know, they put holds on the check, but they weren't even doing holds on the check. They were taking them to check cashing places. So, you know, the check cashing place, they're going to take a percentage. So I didn't really want to write checks because I didn't want them to lose money by cashing the checks. So I usually would do Apple Pay, but Zelle has a limit every month. So I did Apple Pay mostly, and I did Apple Pay and Zelle, and then I started putting the shit on credit card. So when I was gone, I was putting the shit on. I was like, send me the invoice and I'll pay it over with the credit card. That was my instinct that told me to do that. Baby, when I tell you, I got here and I sent him a nice text for documentation purposes. I said, you didn't do anything on the list. I sent him the list. I said, I was trying to be considerate. I said, here's the list of everything that I gave you on October 25th. I left to go to Paris October 26th. I said, I gave you this list on the 25th. What have you done on this list? Nothing on this list has been completed. And you've been taking money. I've been paying you, buying materials, and you got all of this material and shit downstairs, even down to the paint. Elliot went and picked up the paint. I gave Elliot the money for the paint. And so all of that shit is still downstairs. When I tell you I called American Express, not American Express, American Express, and said, hello? Yeah, I had a contractor that was here working at my home and pulled a good percentage of that money back. Amen. So not only did you get that money snatched out of your account, but you got that charge back too. Several chargebacks, because I had them pull every payment, EVERY, every payment that I had made on American Express. Amen. And see, that's the beauty of paying with a credit card. Now, I don't know about other credit cards, but American Express don't play with you. And American Express will let you pull back any payment that was made within 60 days. And see, and because American Express don't play with their card holders, that's why, like, when you get a boot on your car, hopefully you never get a boot on your car. That's why they don't take American Express, because they know you'll pay with that American Express and go home and call and say, get that off my bill. And they'll give them a charge back. Because I did that one day. One day, this was a long time ago. This is probably like a year and a half or two ago, whenever it was. Jack and I went out to eat one day. And we parked somewhere, and we both got boots on the car. I paid mine with my Amex, and I called them when I got home. Take that shit off.
Your Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Take that shit off my bill. Take it off my bill. Take it off my bill, please. Thanks. Sure did. You're not able to do all that. So anyway, so my brain said, well, how did you find contractors so quickly? So what happened was, I got back. What day did I get back? Thursday night? I got back Thursday night. The new contractor started Saturday. Okay? And see, this is what I was saying on the live the other day. I'm always going to have my ear to the ground, okay? I'm always going to have a little hustle in me. I'm always going to have a little street in me. I know y'all call me the rich uncle and the bougie uncle and whatever else you call me, but he gonna always have a bit of Baltimore in him. Baltimore resides in me. But so the guy who's doing the flooring downstairs and who's gonna do the bathroom, he did work at Elliot's house. Now, you know, if Elliot speaks highly of him, you know he did some great work. So he's very meticulous, you know, And so then the guy, so this is why I was late tonight for the nosy people. It was like, well, you late. I didn't realize, so the guy who painted up here for me, he was supposed to come yesterday and he didn't end up getting over here. And so he came tonight. I didn't know he was coming, and he knocked on the door. And so I took him downstairs because he needed to give me a quote for what it would cost for me to paint. This is the other thing. The people who were here before, who basically I cut off, they didn't sand, they primed the walls, but they didn't sand it. Like when you sand the walls, they need to be very smooth. So when you roll that paint on there, it's a nice smooth, but you know, so he's gonna have to sand it down. So a lot of the shit that he did, I'm gonna have to redo. And so I pulled money back from American Express, but I had also found him on Thumbtack. I think I've told you guys about Thumbtack before, maybe? Thumbtack, if I didn't, I'm pretty sure I did, but if you don't know what Thumbtack is an amazing resource, and it's national, wherever you are. And so you put in your zip, you go in there, you set up your, you know, like if you're looking for somebody to paint, if you're looking for somebody to install your toilet, if you're looking for the guy who did the countertop over there, he did that. I'm gonna have him do the countertops for downstairs. I did tell you about Thumbtack, but they're really good. So for, again, all of the single women, engaged single men, go on Thumbtack. It's your best friend. But here's the thing about Thumbtack. They guarantee the contractors. So I have a call, say it with me. I have a call with Thumbtack on Wednesday because I'm planning to pull some more of his money back because Thumbtack has a 100% guarantee. They have, if the work is done wrong and has to be redone, that kind of thing, they'll cover up to $100,000. And then if you're not satisfied with the job, then they'll cover up to $1,000. So my thing is not a thing of I'm not satisfied with the job. My thing is they did it incorrectly. It needs to be done better. It needs to be redone. And so anyway, so I got a call with them on Wednesday because I'm trying to pull some more money. And I'm not going to tell you how much I'm not going to tell you how much I already pulled. And I'm not going to tell you how much more I'm trying to pull. But that's that story. Now let's get into the now I know somebody who probably logs into this video is probably thinking, I thought I was logging in here to hear restaurant reviews. And he talked about everything from trees, Christmas trees. He talking about Christmas trees. he getting honey, I canceled that before I came back to the States. Don't play with me, powerful. I hadn't even left Paris yet. Do you hear me? Gustavo is actually doing Elliot's bathroom right now. But Gustavo is too slow for me. I can't work. I can't wait. And see, Gustavo got mad with me because I started working with other contractors. Gustavo thought we had signed some sort of an agreement, like I only could work with him. And so he kind of felt like, what's up? Y'all, Fred Hammond is in here. You know, that's Abel. Y'all always say he looks like Fred Hammond. Gustavo got upset because I started working with other contractors. And so he said, yeah, I see your YouTube channel. Because remember when he was here working, he saw my YouTube channel and stuff like that. He asked me what I did and all that other stuff. So anyway, so he knew about my YouTube channel. So he was still watching my YouTube channel. Right, he wanted the exclusivity. But the thing is, when I had my driveway done, remember I had the driveway expanded? I ended up going with Daniel because he was $2,000 cheaper than Gustavo. And get this, Gustavo doesn't even do driveways. He doesn't even do concrete. He was going to hire somebody to do the concrete, and Gustavo was going to get a piece of it. So that's why he was $2,000 more than Daniel. I'm like, no, you're not about to gouge me. That's what you're not going to do. So Gustavo got mad when I let Daniel do the driveway, and then Daniel, of course, did all of the concrete in the back. And then how did I find my painter? Now, I'm going to tell you something. Miguel, the guy who does the paint, he gets down. Do you hear me? He don't play. He painted all my cabinets. He painted the ceiling, the wall. He did all my painting, Miguel. And he's affordable. So the guy who's doing my flooring, what else is he doing? He's on the flooring and doing the bathroom. I got from Elliot. He gave me a quote to paint downstairs, like the doors, the walls, the ceilings, and the cabinets for the kitchen. How about Miguel is $1,500 cheaper than him? And so he kept trying to get me to commit to do the painting. I said, no, I just want you to do the bathroom and the flooring. I'm going with my guy because I know my guy is going to be cheaper than you. And sure enough. And Miguel is going to re-sand everything down, and he's $1,500 cheaper. So anyway, listen, I love a good contractor with good pricing too. And so Miguel is just really, and I know he does a good job, and they're quick. They're really quick. If you want Miguel's information, I was going to say email me, but my website is not for that. My website is not for that. If you want his information, go on Patreon and sign up if you're not a member. And then DM me over there, and then I'll send it to you. If you're a Patreon member already, then just DM me and I'll send it to you, okay? But if you're not, you need to sign up for Patreon, and then I'll send you his number. Because don't be going over to my website, loading up my website, talking about, don't be going over to my website talking about, can you give me, because that is not what my site is for, okay? For referrals. But anyway, what I was going to say to you guys, let's get into are we going to do these restaurant reviews, or do I need to just change the title? Because y'all done took me somewhere else. We already been on here for 40 minutes, and I ain't did near restaurant review. What number is that? Okay, are we doing these restaurant reviews? All right, let me go ahead and do these restaurant reviews because y'all done took me somewhere completely else. Let me take this off because I got to come out this jacket because I done got a little warm. Is this microphone still on? They said change the title. Somebody else said, no, let's do them. Wait. Somebody said, change the title. We catching up. We need to catch up. Okay, I'm going to change the title. Hey, Nicole Hawkins. Hey, Nicole Hawkins. Let me take this off. All right, let me change this. Okay, because I do want to talk about that Tyler Perry documentary, because I did watch it. Let me change this title to this video. Or I guess I could change it after we done. Y'all get on my nerves. Y'all always want to be running the show. I'm going to have to change it after we get off of here. All right, so listen. Dapper said, we are catching up. Forget the restaurant reviews. All right, we'll do the restaurant reviews. Alicia, shut up. Our Dave said, please do the restaurant reviews. You always seem to do them when I'm having a bad day, and today has undoubtedly been one. Okay, I'm going to table the restaurant reviews because everybody is saying let's just come back to them. But I'll do them. I'll probably just do them. What is tomorrow? Tuesday? I'll probably just do them tomorrow, okay? I have not watched the Little Richard documentary. Somebody mentioned it to me the other day. Where is it again? Where do I need to watch it? Is it on Max? What is it on? I can't remember. Who was this texting me? I want to hear your thoughts on the TP documentary. Okay. I do want to hear your thought on the Keith of that. Oh, you want to hear about me talking about Keith? Okay, so we'll talk about Keith Lee too. So Keith Lee, I've been following Keith Lee for a while on TikTok. I just stumbled across him. I mean, I've been following him for a minute, like long before he came to Atlanta. Okay, so it's on Max. I'll watch the Little Richard thing. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. So I've been watching him for a while. And I mean, this is when he was just going to places in Vegas because he lives in Vegas, right? And so that was sweet, Kava. Look at her. She is so sweet. That's my girl that came with her chignon. But I've been watching him for a while. And I like watching him because I feel like he is so genuine in his reviews, right? I feel like he's genuine. And so when he came to Atlanta and people got upset because of his experience and he shared his honest experience, it was like, what is wrong with people? And then the fact that people were trying to, they were sending death threats and all that kind of nonsense to him and his family. And I'm just like, that is insane. Like, what is wrong with people? And so I just thought that it was, I thought that it was uncalled for. And my thing is, it goes back to what I say to you guys all of the time. Girl, these little microphones are dead. I was trying to put my little microphone on. It goes back to what I say to you guys all of the time. And that is, as Black people, we have to be able to accept constructive criticism from each other. It's no different from me critiquing Tyler Perry stuff. Now, I know I'll be a little messy when I say stuff, but at the core of what I'm saying, it is honest opinion about Tyler's stuff. Like when I talk about, like y'all get into the wigs being bad and all that. Now, the wigs do be bad, but I get into the technical stuff. Who asked you, Nicole? She don't like he needs the microphone. Now, see, that was honest constructive criticism. I can't take offense to that. I am loud, and I know it. But you all get into the wigs and stuff with Tyler Perry's stuff, and it's true, the wigs are horrible, but I don't get into that. I get into the technical stuff. I talk to you all about the lighting being bad. I talk to you about the boom microphone hanging down. You can see it in certain scenes. I talk about the lack of continuity. For those of you who don't know what I mean when I say continuity, one scene, the lady have on one type of earrings, then they cut to a person, then cut back to her, and she got a whole different earring on. Like, all of that kind of stuff. Like, I just feel like when you ascend to a certain level, you hire people to take care of that kind of stuff, to pay attention to stuff like that. And I just think that as Black people, we should be able to say things like that from a constructive way without people saying, oh, you just hate, you just, no, I'm not. Because if I said that shit about Quentin Tarantino shit, y'all wouldn't give a damn. But because he's Black and because I'm Black, it's a problem. And because I'm gay and because I'm gay, it's a problem. But at any rate, and so so when Keith Lee came here and did his Honest Restaurant, that was his experience. That was what happened. When he went to the restaurant, they told him that we were closed right now. And then when they realized that it was him, they were like, oh no, we can go ahead and serve you. No, And then my thing too is when he went over to Candy's restaurant, OLG. Girl, I sat here and read those. How long ago did I do those restaurant reviews? How long ago did I read those Candy restaurant reviews? So that shit's been happening over there. So now y'all gonna be mad with him because he went through there and he saw it in real life, and you upset because he has what, 14 million followers or something over there on TikTok. So you mad because the masses found out about it because he highlighted it. But it was no different than what people were already saying. And a lot of this bullshit that happens here in Atlanta, like I've gotten to a point that I don't even go out to brunch because it used to be a thing to do and it was just so nice. And you get up, you go have, there were places where they had bottomless mimosas and the shit was affordable. Now it's like people, they dress to the nines. You can't find no bottomless mimosa because they're trying to charge you for every little thing. They telling you got to get up in 2 hours. You can't sit there. You can't enjoy your food. The service is horrible. But my thing is, these restaurant owners don't know what it takes to run a restaurant. Y'all running lounges. This is not a restaurant. This is a lounge. Now, when you got all this music and shit, you got DJs and shit in here. You playing the oldies. You playing the 90s hip hop and R&B. You playing the old Anita Baker and Roberta Flack and the shit that your mom and them listened to that you inherited and started liking. And you got hookahs and shit going around. Ain't nobody trying to get up from the table. You creating more than just a dinner experience or a brunch experience. People sitting there, they trying to kick back for the day. You got to give a deposit for a reservation. What kind of what? For some scrambled eggs and French toast? You got microphones and shit going on. So it's just like you've created this atmosphere where nobody wants to leave. You done made it cozy. The lights are dim. You got cocktails and ain't nobody trying to go home. And you want us to get up from the table in 2 hours? And so my question is, when does the time start? Does the time start when I place my order or from the time my food hit the table? So, I just thought, and then for people to say that he was mean-spirited, no, the fuck he wasn't. You just don't want constructive criticism. You don't want constructive criticism. And my thing is, a lot of times people just want to be celebrated. They don't want to be criticized in a loving way. He was gentle. Now me, and I don't do restaurant reviews. I just read the ones that's on. I just read the ones that are already out there. Yeah, you charge $50 for some eggs and some wings and a waffle. What? What? $50 for some eggs and waffle? What? No, sir. No, sir. And so my thing is, he was very gentle. I think he was very honest. That was his experience. But again, if he was white, I don't think that people would have been so upset. Oh, they offered constructive criticism, but because he's Black, he can't have an opinion. And then we do this thing where we shift and we say, oh, well, it's so hard to please Black people. No. Yeah, I mean, there are some Black folks that, they're going to make you earn your money and they're going to get on your goddamn nerves. But he represents John and Susie Q Public. He is the general audience. And so when people were like, well, who is he anyway to be? He ain't no authority. No, bitch. He represents me and you. He represents the average person going to eat. And you guys know I'm always talking about, I'm a stickler for customer service. Don't come to my table and you ain't ready to take orders and you ain't listening. And yeah, I can't stand to go into a business. And this does not just happen at Black businesses, but it happens a lot. I can't stand to go into a business and they don't even acknowledge you when you come in because they're doing this. Oh, girl, did you see this? They looking at TikTok. The food be so-so, half cold. They looking on Instagram. They on their cell phone. I mean, like, and it's like they act like they doing you a favor. Oh, yeah, can I help? You need some help? Yeah, bitch, I'm standing here. Oh, did you need some help? No, I was just trying to see if y'all were giving out some shifts. Can I clock in? Yeah. What you think I'm standing here for? Like that kind of bullshit. So it's just a lot of nonsense. And so I don't want, and I can tell slightly that he's changed a little bit. I don't know if you all follow him, if any of you follow him, but I can tell that he's slightly changed a little bit. Like he overemphasizes, and again, I don't think that he was harsh before, but he overemphasized and he would say, again, this is just my opinion. Like he underscores that. This is just my opinion. If you want to go for your own experience, you should do that. Da, 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 da. Like, but even before he was saying all of that, he would say, please don't go and write bad reviews or, give these businesses a hard time. I think you should go and experience it for yourself. He was saying that before, but I see him being extra careful now. And I hate that for him because it's like you were authentic before. And I think he's still authentic, but like, don't be tiptoeing around these people. And I think that it's unfortunate because when you are on this side of the camera, and this is one of the reasons why I was really reluctant to even start doing this. Because remember, I had a bird's eye view to Madison doing it, right? And that's the other thing. Well, who said that? Training is critical. Training is critical. And this is the thing. I'm gonna come back to what I was saying about Madison. But the thing that bothers me is a lot of them know that their fucking businesses are subpar. You hiring people that ain't never had no restaurant experience. You hiring people who have never been a server. They've never been a cook at a restaurant. So it's just like, because you're trying to underpay and you don't want to pay people who really have that experience. So for example, and I'm just going to use Candy as an example. You got this steakhouse. Are those chefs over there really trained? And I don't know the answer to that. But I'm wondering because I've heard, now, I don't eat steak. I don't eat meat. But I've heard that them niggas, before I knew it, I said niggas. Them niggas over there that's cooking don't even know how to prepare your steak to the temperature that you want. You ask for it medium, they send that shit out well done anyway, because most of us want our shit cooked all the way. So they don't even know how to. So my thing is, you need to pay real chefs who know how to do the temperature for a medium steak, a rare steak, a well done steak. Like you need to know. And you charging all these highest prices, but your chefs don't know how to send the goddamn steak out at the right temperature? Or the lamb chop? You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's just a mess. Now, what I was saying was, stepping on this side of the camera, it's not for the faint at heart. I can tell you that. Now, I had a bird's eye view of Madison doing it really before I got into it. Now, when I met Madison, for those of you who may not know, I met Madison because she came. I invited her to do my podcast. This is when I was doing podcasts before I was ever doing lives. And my podcast is So Much to Say. And it's on like Spotify and wherever you listen to podcasts. And so they're still out there, still episodes out there. But anyway, I used to do podcasts. And so I had her on as a guest. And I had her on as a guest because I'm not a person that watches porn unless I'm logged into Twitter, and you just can't help it. But, and sometimes I find myself getting caught up. But I've never been a person that like watch porn. Like I don't log into like, the porn sites and shit like that. Like it's just never done anything for me unless I get trapped. So anyway, so I had never seen any of her stuff. But she used to always come down my timeline on Facebook because people would share her stuff. And I was like, who is this girl? And at first, I didn't even know she was trans until she started talking about her dick. And I was like, oh, this girl is trans. So I was intrigued by her personality. And I was just like, don't he make his own? And so I was intrigued and I was just like, let me reach out to her. So I reached out to her and she came over and did the podcast. That day, this is when I was living at 227. That day, she said to me, you need to use your personality to sell those books. Because I had a closet full of books that y'all weren't buying. Well, y'all didn't know me then. And so I was just like, well, what am I going to do with these books? And she was like, you need to, Durant said, I've dated 3 Taurus men. They didn't like porn either. Interesting. Because we do our own. We don't need help. But at any rate, she said to me, you need to use your personality to sell those books. That's how you're going to sell those books. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was just like, you just need to start doing lives. And I wasn't making the connection. I'm like, what me doing lives got to, and again, that was me being reluctant because I didn't want to be live. Like I've never wanted to be, in front of the camera. Like everything that I've always enjoyed has been behind, like even like me producing, telling our stories and all that kind of stuff and Gay Like Me. Like I like doing the stuff behind. So anyway, doing the stuff behind, did you catch that? But anyway, she was like, you just need to get on the live and just start talking about whatever's going on in your life. And so, okay, Mike. She's like, you just need to talk about whatever's going on in your life. And I was like, well, what am I talking about? And at the time I was substitute teaching. And so she said, just talk about whatever. And she said, and then before you close out on your videos or, at different points in your video, let people know that you've written books and stuff like that. And, and you'll see. And sure enough, that's what happened. But part of the reason that I was reluctant was because I know that people are going to criticize you, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how, Tabitha Brown, they criticize her. And she got to be so the least problematic person on the internet. So it's like, she got some of them Bible thumpers that follow her that we talk about, because like they have issues that she's friendly with gay people or, you know what I mean? Because like, anyway, so like, it's just a lot of stuff. So I just never really wanted to be in front of the camera. So no matter what you do, what you talk about, there's always going to be people that's going to tear you apart. There's always going to be people that criticize. There's always going to be people that's thinking they're going to read the energy of the people that they're watching. Like, I can't tell you how many people have thought that me and Scott fell out just because he wasn't on the lives anymore. And like, it's just crazy. So, where was I going with this? Oh, so about the whole Keith Lee thing. So I just felt bad for him. But he came through Atlanta and he really exposed Atlanta for what it was. I hated that I was gone. I hated that I was gone because I really wanted to talk about that when it was actually happening. I wanted to get into that, and I wanted to get into that whole Diddy thing. Speaking of the whole Diddy thing, thank you to the person who emailed me tonight. Somebody that took that clip of me talking about Diddy. Remember when I got home the other night and Keon came over here and I was talking about Diddy? Somebody took a clip of my video and embedded it in his video. Took the part of the story where I talked about my promoter who was invited to an after party. And Puffy said, come on, join the fun. He took that whole clip and put it in his video. I think you owe me a few dollars for that if you're watching this. How you gonna take my story to support your video? And then they even put my name up there. You could at least put my name up there so I could have got some of your subscribers. You saw it too? Courtney, you saw that video? Michelle Witt said, I saw it earlier. And didn't even put my name up there. He didn't even put my name up there. How you gonna not put my name up there? You could at least put my name. He had his name watermarked on the thing. I need to email YouTube and tell them take that shit down. But anyway, so that was the whole Keith Lee thing. Then let's move into this Tyler Perry thing. So I watched the documentary. Keisha saw it too. Oh, all of y'all saw it? How y'all see it? But so the Tyler Perry documentary, I watched it the other night. And I thought it was good because but look, it wasn't something that he had to write, right? But no, I thought it was really well done. It was really nice seeing his trajectory, right? I mean, of course, I met him in those not when he did his first plays, but I met him in the beginning when he was big, like doing his plays. He hadn't started doing any movies yet, but I met him during that time. So when I was watching it, it kind of took me back to some of those early conversations, and it reminded me of when I did my stage play, because he did his first stage play at 14th Street Playhouse, and I did my first stage play many years after him at that same theater on that same stage. And as I was watching his documentary, I started, you know how like certain things would trigger you? So I started recalling certain conversations that we had. And I remember him saying to me, I couldn't get 30 people in here the entire weekend, and you were able to sell this place out. How did you do it? I remember him asking me that. And he was like, how did you do it? And see, at the time, there was no social media. And like, we literally printed flyers on my little home computer printer, printed them out. We went out to the gay club. We were on like 3x5s or 5x7s flyers. And we went out to the gay clubs. We went to Bulldogs. We passed them out, introduced ourselves and said I was doing this play. Like I had a street team that was like helping. It was like real ground level guerrilla style. And we would go to all of the little different gay clubs, because back then it was something to do on the gay scene every single night. And so we would go to those different clubs. We would pass out flyers and let them know that we had this play coming up. But then I also I staged the play during Black Gay Pride weekend. That first time I did it. And I partnered with the Black Gay Pride Planning Committee. And they made us one of the official events. So they put us on their website. And so when people were coming, you know, the gays come in town by plane, train, automobile, and parachute. So when they were coming in town, they saw A Day in the Life by Craig Stewart. You know what I mean? So it was one of those things that, oh, you going to the play? It was like an official event. It was like something that everybody needed to do. You know what I mean? So it was like one of the things to do on the itinerary for the weekend. So that was how we did it. And so now when I think about, so when I was watching that documentary, I was like, that little bug started, it kind of gave me that little tingle, like, oh, damn, this might be the time for you to do it. It just kind of, I don't know, it just made me hopeful and thinking that, you know, maybe you should do this. You know what I'm saying? Like Madison and I, we've had conversations about it, because in the play, there's a really, really feminine gay boy. So the play was A Day in the Life. I'm coming back to Tyler in a second. Sorry. The stage play was about 6 gay characters who, in my opinion, represent the different personalities in the gay community. So there was a really feminine gay guy. Then there was a minister of music of the church who was struggling to reconcile his sexuality with his religious beliefs. Then there was a professional. He was a closeted professional, but he was in a relationship. They lived together, but none of his colleagues, he was a doctor, none of his colleagues or family knew that he was gay. Then there was a character that I wrote after myself and my friends at the time. We were neither hyper masculine or hyper feminine, but we were comfortable in our skin. Our family knew we were gay. We were open, da, 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 da. Then there was the trans girl who believed she was born in the wrong body. Then we had the DL character who had a girlfriend or wife and didn't believe that he was gay. He just fucked around. So I believe all those personalities are present in the gay community, right? So again, now that I know Madison, I'm like, bitch, you could be the trans character. And even if she didn't want to be in the show, she and I could produce it together. And with our social media following, I know we could sell it out. Because again, there was no social media when I did it before. So anyway, when I was watching that documentary, I was like, damn, it just reminded me of that. And I remember when Tyler came to my rehearsal. I was doing rehearsals for my play. He pulled up in a white Bentley, and he had on some little Adidas slippers, slides, and he had on some sweatpants and a little short sleeve shirt. And he came to the show because one of the actors that was in my show was his personal trainer at the time. And so the personal trainer, who was also an actor in my show, told Tyler about the play. So Tyler he popped up at one of my rehearsals. And he asked me what the play was about, and he said, oh, this is really great. So anyway, so when I was watching this documentary, all of that came back to me, and I started thinking about all of that. But then it gave me a sense of pride for him, because I know I give him shit about his work, but I'm really, really proud of him for what he's accomplished. Because when you can take a dream from here, I don't care how much shit I talk about his work, and I stand behind the shit that I say. But when you can, you have to give a motherfucker their credit when you can take an idea and make it happen in real life. You can bring it to fruition. That is commendable. But again, I think as Black people, we should be able to criticize and critique to make that person better, to make that artist better, without people thinking, oh, you just hate, no, you just don't like his stuff, and no, because there is definitely room for improvement. And so, like, I was scrolling through Instagram today, and I follow Ava DuVernay on Instagram because I love her and I love her work. The only thing of hers that I didn't like was A Wrinkle in Time. And so, unique. And so I was scrolling through Instagram today, and I saw a post that Ava DuVernay did. And I told you guys I want to see this movie. Me too, Alicia. I saw that. I told you guys the other day I want to see Ava DuVernay's movie Origins. It comes out December 8th. And so I was scrolling through her Instagram today, and it was talking about how she had to find private funding, private investors to make that film happen. And my thing is, at this point in her career, she still can't get the backing that she needs to create the stories that she wants to tell. That was the first thought. The second thought was, why is it that we as Black people have to still wait for Hollywood, white Hollywood, to give us permission to tell our stories? And this is why I published my own books, because I didn't want to wait for a white person to give me permission to tell my story. Like, my first book came out in 2012. It's now 2023. That was 11 years ago. Can you imagine if I had waited? I could still be sitting here waiting. But now I've enjoyed 11 years of grinding and promoting and getting my books to the public on my own. But my thing is, and then the third thing I thought, why can't Black Hollywood come together and fund these movies? This woman has a track record. She has a proven track record. But then you know what I thought? It goes back to Rustin, the movie on Netflix, and how they didn't want to give Bayard Rustin the credit for coming up with the idea for the Freedom Ride. Everybody wanted to be the one with the idea. Everybody wanted to be the one to be remembered in history. And it's the same kind of bullshit. It's the reason why Black Hollywood can't come together and say, you know what, let's all pool our money together and we're going to produce the next 3 projects that Ava DuVernay does. Okay, we're all going to pool our money together and then we're going to do the next 3 projects that Barry Jenkins, is that the guy's name who did Moonlight? Barry Jenkins, isn't that his last name? Why can't we bring these people up? Same thing with the guy Ryan Coogler. Why can't they say, okay, well, we ain't gonna make Ryan wait for Hollywood to fund or greenlight his projects? What project? What are your passion projects? Because sometimes we have to do the projects that they want us to do in order to do the things that we want to do. But like Ava DuVernay only does Black movies, period. She tells our stories, with the exception of A Wrinkle in Time. And so it's like, why she got to be beholding to them? And so this is where my critique comes in again with a Tyler Perry per se, because here you are now a billionaire. Surely you've been in the same room with Ava DuVernay and you know each other. Why she got to go to what's Bill Gates' ex-wife, Melinda Gates? She was somebody who put money up towards this movie Origins. Why we got to go to white people all the time? Why she had to go to Melinda Gates to help fund this? It's that kind of shit that annoys me. And I'm not saying that Tyler is responsible for funding the dreams and ideas of every Black artist that comes up, but it's like, God damn. And so, all that to say, I really did enjoy his documentary. She said, you were doing good for a minute. I did enjoy his documentary. I knew everything. There was nothing new in the documentary for me, except the fact that the father that he knew to be his father wasn't his biological father. I didn't know that they ended up doing a DNA test, and they discovered that he wasn't his real father. So that was new. I did not know that. So that was interesting. But I thought it was remarkable the way that he honored Sidney Poitier and Whoopi Goldberg. I knew he had those sound stages and stuff, but it was nice to see it. I had never seen them. Well, I mean, I had seen clips, of course, but it was nice to see the behind the scenes of it, you know, through that documentary. So it was very, very good. And then I saw his son, you know, of course they showed him from the back, which I agreed. I mean, I thought it was nice that he protects his privacy. But did you see how he tried to plant that baby's mama in there like they together? Tyler, we know y'all not together. Stop. And if you ask me, I don't even think y'all laid down to have that baby. I think it was artificially. But at any rate, so yeah, so I thought it was a good documentary. I thought it was very inspirational. It definitely made me want to dig my claws into another project, right? It definitely made me want to be better and really produce more, you know, stuff. And so, like, I had a call with Madison today, and she said, "No, we got some stuff we're gonna do." I said, "All right, well, we need to get on it because I got ideas." And because I was saying to her, like, when we first started working together, we used to brainstorm all of the time about all of these ideas. And of course, she's gone and done film and television and all this other stuff, and I've done some stuff. But it's like, we're both now in a position where we can create our own stuff. We can fund, you know, we can come together and fund stuff together. And I'm just like, I think we should do that instead of like waiting. Like, instead of waiting for people, you know? So yeah, so I thought about that. My company is Impeccable Works, Blessed Destiny. So everything that I do comes up under that. Say it in the card, because I'm under Impeccable Works. All of the books come under Impeccable Works. Telling Our Stories comes under Impeccable Works. When we were doing Outspoken, which I talked to Suzanne DePass while I was in Paris. Child, don't ask me about it. It's just TV. Hurry up and wait. I gave them my production company information, Impeccable Works, so that when that does hit TV, if and when it does hit TV, my production company, Impeccable Works, would, you know, they would cut my check to Impeccable Works. Again, that's a tax shelter too. So anyway, so yeah. So, but no, I thought his documentary was good. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. I really, really enjoyed that documentary that Kirk Franklin did, though. And that one was really good. That one is on YouTube. I can't remember the name of that one. Yeah, I can't think of the name of it right now. Was there something else that we needed to talk about? What else we needed to catch up on? I think I'm gonna watch the Little Richard story tonight. I hope it's good because this is like the second or third time that y'all didn't ask me to watch this Little Richard thing. Now don't have me watch this shit and it's boring, okay? Oh, you know what? Onyx, I'm not about to play with you, but I'm with you when you're right. The Little Richard thing is on Max. Yes, please hit the like button, the share button, and the subscribe button. Yeah, I think Leon plays him, doesn't it? What changed in my life? That gave me the courage to pursue more. That's a good question. And it's interesting because I was having this conversation with somebody, I think last week. It was within the past week. Look at MTS talking about I'm lost. What's a BQ? Butch Queen. He act like he don't know what a Butch Queen is. Now Miss Ann might not know what a BQ is, but you definitely know MTS. But to answer your question, for me, I think what changed, a couple of things changed. Before, when I was like really struggling to print books, get from city to city to do a signing or promote books or whatever, it's hard to be creative when you're trying to survive day to day, right? You're trying to figure out how you're gonna pay for whatever you got to pay for. Like your mind is clogged up. And I was staying with friends and all of that kind of stuff. So it's like you can't really be as creative as you want to be because one, you don't have the resources to do a lot of stuff. Pardon me. Thank you, Joy. But now I have a little more wiggle room because the books. So for a long time, I used to say all of the time that I was grinding and I was working for the books. But then that shift change happened and I was no longer working for the books. The books were working for me. So like before, what I mean by that is like when I first started, I wasn't doing lives yet. Before I was doing lives, like I would keep books in the car. And remember, I didn't even have a car. I was using Elliot's second car. I might have Angela's second car or something. And I would keep books in the car. And so whenever I was out and about and somebody happened to know that I wrote a book or whatever, they'd be like, oh, did you have any books? I wanted to buy some books. I heard about your books. And I'd be somewhere having brunch. This is when it was fun and easy to go to brunch. And because remember, this was 2012. And so I would have books in the car. And so I would take books in to sell one or two books. And then 5 or 6 other, oh, you got some books. So I would sell books like that. But then it got to a point where I didn't sell books for weeks at a time. And I remember a friend of mine said, well, what's your goal? Like, how many books would you want to sell per week? I said, if I could just sell 10 books a week, the books are $20. If I wanted to sell 10 books a week, that's $200 a week. That was $800 a month. And I was like, I could just pay my rent over there at 227. And I was like, I could just pay my rent and just da-da-da-da, And she's like, okay. And then I will never forget, once I really got into the rhythm of doing the lives and I was promoting the books all of the time. And then I met up with Madison and I would promote over there. I remember there were nights, pardon me, I would sometimes have 40 orders a night. And when I say orders, I don't mean it would be one book. A lot of those times it would be people buying all 4 books. They'd be buying all 4 books, or they buy 2 books, or 3 books, or 1 book, but it was usually multiple books. And I would have 35 and 40 book orders, like orders that came through. And so it was just rolling. And I was like, good God Almighty. Like my mother would be like, I just can't believe it. And I literally would package everything up. I would carry them in a huge suitcase and I would take them over to the FedEx and I would ship them out. And then that's when I brought Nikki on more. And then she would come and she would take them out, and she would ship them and do all that stuff. And, I just started becoming more creative. And then I would be saying different things on here and y'all started repeating like things that I said, like, especially like when I would say communication is our partner. And y'all were like, oh, y'all, you need to put that on a t-shirt or whatever. And then I would go put it on a t-shirt and put it on a coffee mug or, and then people started ordering that. And then I said, well, shit, let me tell them about these greeting cards. So then I started telling them about the greeting. So, it just kind of, and then eventually my YouTube channel got monetized. So I had a little more time because I wasn't hustling, trying to figure out how I was going to pay the next bill and how I was going to do this and how I was going to do that. And I was able to think clearer. And so then that's when I came up with ideas like, again, I was working with Madison. So then that's when I was like pushing her to take the show. Yeah, it started snowballing. And so I started pushing Madison to take the show on the Queen's Supreme Court on the road. Because remember, she wasn't really trying to do that. And I was like, girl, listen, I think we can do it. Because remember, my background was my stage play. I'd never taken the stage play on tour, but I had sold it out here in Atlanta. And I said, girl, I know we can do this. And, she always talked about she LGBTQ royalty. And so I used to use that against her. I'm like, well, bitch, if you LGBTQ royalty, then prove it, bitch. Let's get out here and sell these tickets. So then we started doing it, right? So then that happened. And then, you know what I mean? And then I just started, I don't know, other ideas just started coming. And then I ended up writing Book of Jewels. And, and then by the time I put Book of Jewels out, and I started teasing it and started talking about Book of Jewels, and I would read little pieces from it. And then when it was about to come out, I wasn't even trying to take pre-orders. And I'll never forget, several of you sent me money, even though I said I wasn't taking pre-orders because I didn't know when the book was going to come out yet, because they hadn't even gone to the editor yet. And a bunch of you just sent money to I know you said you ain't ready, but just put my name down on the list and send my book whenever it comes out. And I'll never forget, I had over 200 pre-orders for Book of Jewels. I've never talked about this before, but I had over 200 pre-orders when Book of Jewels came out. And so when the book came, I had a running list, and whenever people ordered the book, I would go ahead and put your name on the list. I'd have your address, and then when it was time, Nikki shipped them out. I've never thought about a documentary on my life because I don't think it's time for something like that now. I think I need to do more, and then something like that could happen. But so anyway, so it was like over 200 pre-orders for Book of Jewels. And so then it just kind of just kept going from there. And then, and so, and I don't know. And then Derek J and I started doing Gay Like Me conversations. And I really started enjoying that. And then he had the idea that we should go into the studio and actually film actual episodes, and then we started promoting that, and then Suzanne DePass jumped on it, and and then I started doing Telling Our Stories, because again, while they over there trying to figure out what they're gonna do with Outspoken, I'm not sitting and waiting for that. Where before, I would have been really anxious because I didn't have anything going on, and when you in a desperate situation and you like, oh, this could be my big break. I really need this to happen. I'm not sitting and waiting for that because I'm doing other things. Like we did the live shows and, and I'm doing Telling Our Story. You know what I mean? So I have other stuff to fall on. I'm not sitting there waiting for that. And then I think also age, as I've gotten older, I realized that life is short. Keon and I did a Patreon when I was in Paris. And so for those of you that are on that Patreon, you already know where I'm about to go. But I said to him on that Patreon, I said, for the first time in my life, I still don't feel my age. I didn't tell y'all that the motherfuckers over there in London thought I was 32. They thought I was 32 years old. And when I told them children that I was 47, they gagged. Somebody was like, you've got to tell me what your skincare secret is. She got in my face. She's like, you've got to tell me what your skincare secret is. But anyway, I said to Keon, even though I don't feel 47, whatever that means, for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm in the middle of my life. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm in the middle of my life. And I realized you're halfway through. Even though I always say that I'm gonna live to at least 90, but I'm still halfway through. These were black people, sugar. They were not white people, okay? These were black people. And in fact, one of the guys was like, how old are you? And so I told him. And then when we got with his group of friends, he said, can y'all guess how old he is? And they were like, what, 30? Well, one person, they all were saying 32. And then one guy said, well, because you prefaced it, well, can you guess how old he is? I'm going to go higher than I thought. And he said 38. But that's still 9 years younger. But anyway, I realized, I'm realizing, and I said this to Keon when I was away, this is midlife. And I want to maximize my time with the rest of my life. With whatever time I have left, I want to maximize it. And so for me, that was why, well, I wasn't thinking this when I went to Paris, but I had revelations while I was there. And this is why I realized, he tried it. He said they got a lot of fog in London. The sky was clear, Nice. It was clear. But one of the revelations that I had while I was away was, you have to seize every moment. And it's a beautiful thing that you did this for yourself, that you took this trip and you did this I did this for me. Like, I didn't wait for anybody. I wasn't, I wasn't expecting or wanting people to come, my friends to come and visit and hang out with me. Like, this was something that I did for me. And I realized, and I think I said this before I left, this is not something that I would have done had I been in a relationship. So single can be good to you too, niece. Don't ever think that, it can or it's not. I think that there are periods in our life that it's important to be by yourself, so that you can reflect and you can really indulge and do the things that are important and significant to you and not consider anybody else. It was a great reset. It was a great opportunity for me to shut off and detach from all of the stuff that came with the relationship, the breakup, and just everything. You know what I'm saying? It really gave me an opportunity to step back and just look at the rest of my life and what I wanted that to look like, what I want that to look like. Because as I say all of the time, and it's in So Much to Say, a book of quotes, happiness doesn't just happen. It's a series of good decisions, one after the next. You make this good decision, then you make the next good decision, then that good decision, then that. And then before you know it, you're at this wonderful place. But it's one good decision after the next. Happiness doesn't just happen. You have to be methodical. You have to be thoughtful. You have to be intentional. Every single step that you take. And even when you feel like you've made a misstep, it's all in divine order. And this is a quote in that book too. So Much to Say, a book of quotes. Even when it feels like you're off course, you're right on course. You're right on course. And sometimes when you look back, like when I look back now, every single thing that I experienced, I went through, it was designed to redirect me, to bring me to this moment. And so when I was away, it was just like, this was just a beautiful thing. Like when I'm 70, I'll be able to look back and say, I did that for myself. So yes, it was about me going and learning more about the language and improving my language and and stuff like that. And I'm going to continue to do it while I'm here. I'm going to continue listening to my French podcast and my TV shows in French and all of that kind of stuff. But this was an experience that I'm just really grateful that I was able to do, or really to have. And so again, like realizing that I am in the middle of my life, it's like I want to be very intentional about everything else, everything that I do professionally, and everything that I do personally for myself. Like I really want, and we're coming to the end of the year. We're coming towards the end of the year, and everybody thinks that the new year is the time to reset, but you can reset right now. You can reset in June. You don't have to wait till January. And I really feel like this will be something that I'll do consistently going forward. Like the way I jump on a plane and go to New York, like I want to be able to do that same thing like going to Paris. I won't be able to go as often as I go to New York, but I want to be able to like maybe like in the summer, like I maybe go again in the summer and sit over there and just plant myself. Now I probably would go live, but I would sit and plant myself. You know what I'm saying? And really, really get those experiences. Because you only get one life. And when you get to I don't want to look back at 75 or 80 and look back and think, damn, I didn't do a lot because I was afraid. Fear cripples a lot of people. It prevents a lot of people from doing the things that they want to do, starting businesses, going back to school, traveling, moving to another city, moving to another country, whatever it is. It's like, what are you afraid of? You can always pick up and redirect. You can always do that. Nothing is set in stone. And so I'm just grateful for this time. And so, again, I would have never been like, babe, I'm going to Paris. I want to go to Paris for an extended period. That would have never happened. So I was just grateful to be able to do that. And it just reminded me to just always remember to do things for myself. It's always important to continue to do things for yourself. Do the things that you're interested in, especially when you're in a relationship or you have family or children or whatever. A lot of times you feel like you have to move as a unit all of the time. No, you can do some things on your own. If there's a movie that you want to see, take your ass to that movie. Don't try to beat your partner up, or there's a concert you want to go to and your partner ain't really interested in that artist. Oh, okay, well, babe, I'll see you when I come back. Live your life. Live your life. Do the things that are important to you as well. And so like it just reminded me like to just live and experience and do. So I definitely want to get. There are definitely other countries that I want to get to. Like there are places in Africa. There are different countries in Asia that I want to get to. So it just reminded me that there's so much more out there outside of Atlanta. Like Atlanta is great. Like I've been here, I've done that. Like all that hanging out and doing all that stuff that they do here locally. That's cute for y'all. But I'm ready to do something else. Like I want to have friends internationally. Like I want to hang out with my friends in London. I want to hang out with my friends in Paris. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be a global citizen. I want to be a global citizen. You know what I'm saying? So, so yeah, so that's that. But listen, I'm about to get off here because I need to go situate my situation. Huh? I want to go situate my situation. I need to wash my hair. They're coming to put this Christmas tree up tomorrow. And I'm still building Patreon for you guys. I still got stuff from Paris I need to drop in there, but I'm just trying to build more and more and more. So I'll drop that for you guys. But don't forget, if you're on Patreon, you're going to get the next episode of the basement renovation on Friday. It's gonna be every Friday. And so thank you guys for tuning in, for listening, for hitting the like button, the share button, and the subscribe button. Let me tell y'all something before y'all go. Excuse me, it is not 11 o'clock. It is 10:48, and it's not situated because I was on here talking to you all, okay? Now, I'm going to go in here and situate my situation after I get off of here, and I'm going to brush my teeth. Don't forget to brush your teeth, flush teeth, and brush your tongue. Now, I've been using this oil pulling stuff. It's like a peppermint and coconut oil, and it's already liquefied. It's on my Amazon storefront. You need to go over there and visit that Amazon storefront and get some of those, some of my favorite things. But what I was going to say was, I purchased Gladys and Gloria's plane ticket today to come down here for Christmas. They almost didn't come. I don't know what Delta got going on, but why are those plane tickets so goddamn high? Now, fortunately, Sister Elliot Agnes had some Sky Miles. So we put some of those Sky Miles over there, and then I was able to go ahead and purchase those tickets. Because, baby, they were about to be sitting at home. And I was just gonna have to, FaceTime them or Zoom them or something. Okay, look at Nicole talking about somebody passed the collection plate. Let's see if she sent something in here while she's telling everybody else. Yeah, there's nothing from Nicole. Thank you, Cheryl. I said Valerie Brown earlier. Thank you, Nicola. Thank you, Sylvia. I mentioned her earlier. And thank you, Unique. She done up for back child support. Girl, she sent 8 quarters. Girl, what kind of back child support is that? 8 quarters? $2? I'm not ungrateful, but I'm just saying, what kind of back child support is this for? What am I supposed to do? Get them a pack of oodles and noodles? My father didn't want to come. My dad is afraid to fly. That's what it is. I said to him the other day, I said, you just don't want to come because you don't like to fly. He said, yeah, I really don't like to fly. Okay, well then just say that. He don't like to fly. So that's why he didn't. No, I appreciate it, Unique. I'm just giving you a hard time. But yeah, he didn't want to fly, so. But anyway, you guys have an amazing night. Brush your teeth, floss your teeth, brush your tongue. Niece, I still got them hoodies over here. GED, dropout, nurse, and baby nurse, and all that stuff. Niece, email me about these hoodies now, because we got to get them out of here. I need to make some space in here. Gloria got to have somewhere to sleep. You guys have an amazing night. I'll talk to you soon. Don't forget to sign up for Paid for Your Say, www.paidforyoursay.com. Promo code is Craig150. You guys have an amazing night. I think I am going to do the restaurant reviews tomorrow. Thank you, Londe. Thank you. He or she said, welcome home. He, she, them, or they. I don't want to mess up nobody's pronouns. But yeah, I think I am going to go live tomorrow. And if I do, I'll do the restaurant reviews tomorrow for Milk and Honey. All right. Look at Michelle Howard telling me I'm late. All right, girl, don't even take your kitten heel off. Don't take your jacket off, girl. We about to leave. See y'all later. Bye.